So in this session, I'm going to explain you about multiplexing and what are the different types of multiplexings we have. So in previous classes, we discussed about the pulse analog modulation and the different types of pulse analog modulations we have. So pulse amplitude modulation and pulse width modulation and pulse position modulation. And in previous classes, we discussed about how can we generate a pulse analog modulated signal and pulse width modulated signal and pulse position modulated signal, and what are the generation methods and what are the detection methods for these three: PAM, PWM, and PPM. So in previous classes, we discussed about these topics. Okay, so in this session, I'm going to explain you about multiplexing. So what is multiplexing? Multiplexing is nothing but the sharing the common channel. Sharing the common channel. So in the concept of multiplexing, we have a multiplexer and demultiplexer circuits. And this multiplexer permits hundreds or thousands of senders, hundreds or thousands of signals from the different senders. These signals are combined in the multiplexer and these signals are transmitted over a shared medium or the communication channel. And at the receiving end, we have a demultiplexer. This demultiplexer separates these information signals into different streams, and these signals, it will be distributed to the different receivers. So multiplexing is nothing but combining the information from the multiple sources and transmitted over the same shared medium. And these signals will be separated by using a multiplexer and distributed to the different receivers. That is nothing but multiplexing. So what is the principle behind the multiplexing? Here, each sender wants to communicate with the receiver. So here the sender and receiver pairs. So we have different senders here and we have different receivers here. So the sender and receiver pairs share a single transmission medium. We know that multiplexer combines the information from the different sources and send this information through the same channel or shared medium. And the demultiplexer separates this information and distributed to the receivers. And this information will be distributed to the receivers by demultiplexer. So because of this shared medium, cost will be saved. So we can send multiple signals by using this shared medium. This is the concept of multiplexing. And we have different types of multiplexing techniques. So time division multiplexing and wavelength division multiplexing and frequency division multiplexing. So we can classify the, depending on the type of data transmission, we can classify this multiplexing into analog multiplexing and digital multiplexing. Under analog multiplexing category, we have frequency division multiplexing and wavelength division multiplexing. If you want to send the digital data, so you go through the time division multiplexing. So what is frequency division multiplexing? So here the number of signals shared the common channel. Here the available spectrum is divided into smaller frequency spectrums, and these spectrums are separated by smaller frequencies. Okay, so if you want to send the data by using frequency division multiplexing, see here we have the number of sources. From these sources, we have the information will be generated from this number of sources. And here the each information signal or baseband signal will be modulated by different carrier frequencies. Here the each carrier frequency will be at least separated the neighboring carrier frequency by 2 FM. 2 FM. So if we want to demodulate these information signals, we have to consider the different carrier frequencies, and these carrier frequencies will be separated at least by 2 FM, at least by 2 FM. So here you may see here the information will be generated from the different sources. We have number of information sources here, and these signals, these information signals will be modulated at different carrier frequencies, and these signals will be transmitted over the same channel, that is nothing but what we called shared medium without interference, and at the receiver these carrier frequencies will be separated by using the different band pass filter circuits, appropriate band pass filter circuits, and from that we can separate that information and we can send this information to different receivers. So that is nothing but demodulation here. Demodulation is nothing but extracting the original information from the modulated signal. Okay. So this is the example, or else this is the example of frequency division multiplexing. Frequency division multiplexing is nothing but whatever the available spectrum we have, that will be divided into smaller spectrums, and each sender utilize the particular spectrum. Means for each sender we have allocated the particular spectrum. So here the signals will be modulated at different frequencies. These signals share the common channel. Here the available channel is divided into different frequency spectrums. Okay, so this is nothing but frequency division multiplexing. So what is the advantage of FDM system is, so it is very useful for the analog signal information, analog signals transmission. But the disadvantage is if we allocate this frequency spectrum, or if the distribution is uneven, so here the bandwidth will be wasted. That is the drawback in frequency division multiplexing. So these are the God bands. Means here the each channel is separated. The difference between the each channel, or it will be separated by the God bands. Next, time division multiplexing. In this time division multiplexing will be used for the digital transmission of data. Here the digital data will be transmitted in the form of packets. And it will be divided into time slots. Okay, so depending on the time sharing basis, the information will be transmitted from the transmitter to the receiver. And in time division multiplexing, the transmitter and receiver should be synchronized. Okay, and for in TDM we have to use the God bands, or what we call it as control frames. Control frames. So see here, this is time division multiplexing. This is the framing structure. Here one is the user. For this user we have allocated the particular time, and C1, C2. These are the control signals. And in time division multiplexer, the transmitter and receiver should be synchronized. So, ఈ రెండు synchronize అయినప్పుడు మాత్రమే సో ఏమవుతుంది ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఇక్కడ మనము ఈ టైం స్లాట్ లో ఒక యూజర్ అనే వాళ్ళు డేటాని సెండ్ చేస్తున్నారు. సో ఈ డేటా ఏమవుతుంది, మనం మనకి ట్రాన్స్మిటర్ రిసీవర్ సింక్రోనైజ్ లేకపోతే అదర్ ఛానల్లో మనకి ఈ డేటా అనేది రిసీవ్ అవుతుంది. రాంగ్ రిసీవర్ అనే వాళ్ళు రిసీవ్ చేసుకుంటారు ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. ఓకే, సో ఇన్ TDM transmitter and receiver should be synchronized. So synchronization is must in time division multiplexing system. Okay, so what we call it as, these are markers. These are markers. These markers are included at the beginning and the ending of the each frame. So because of these markers, the multiplexer should be synchronized with the demultiplexer stream. Okay, so this is a frame slot. At the beginning and the ending, we have to use markers for the synchronization. If the multiplexer and demultiplexers are not synchronized, the bit going to one channel may be received by the wrong channel. That is the drawback in time division multiplexing system. If the multiplexer and demultiplexer are not synchronized. Okay, so this is time division multiplexing, and we have sometimes a crosstalk occurs. So how can we reduce the crosstalk? If you want to reduce the crosstalk, you have to increase the bandwidth. We have to increase the bandwidth. If we have larger bandwidth, the separation between the time slots also, the spacing between the time slots will be increased. So we can avoid the crosstalk. Crosstalk is nothing but adjacent channel interference. What we call it as crosstalk. This crosstalk depending on the guard time. This guard time should be greater or equal to 0.55 divided by the bandwidth. If we increase the bandwidth, this guard time will be reduced. So we can reduce the crosstalk. Okay, so crosstalk increase cheyali ante manam em cheyali, bandwidth ni increase cheyali. So this is the relation between the bandwidth and guard time. Okay, so this is all about multiplexing, that is the frequency division multiplexing and time division multiplexing. So in frequency division multiplexing, this will be used for the analog signal transmission or analog information transmission, and the time division multiplexing will be used for the digital transmission of data. Here the data will be transmitted in the form of packets, or we call it as frames. Each frame contains the information from the different users, and at the beginning and ending of the each frame we should use markers to synchronize the transmitter and receiver. So the synchronization must be done. Okay, and we have a crosstalk present in the time division multiplexing. This will be occurred due to the adjacent channel interference. So this will be reduced by increasing the bandwidth. So when it will be occurred, the distance between the channels will be less, so we will get the adjacent channel interference. So if we increase the bandwidth, we increase the distance between the channels, so then we will avoid the crosstalk. So we have to increase the bandwidth. Okay, so that is nothing but multiplexing. So in 5th unit we have the noise and pulse amplitude, pulse modulation, pulse analog modulation techniques. In noise, we discussed about the calculation of signal to noise ratio and the figure of merit. So for the different systems, that is analog modulation systems, for angle modulation systems, we discussed this noise calculation. So by using signal to noise ratio, we can calculate the performance of the receiver or the performance of the system. Okay, so for analog modulation system, we have 3 types, DSB-FC, double sideband full carrier system, and DSB-SC, double sideband suppressed carrier, as double sideband suppressed carrier system, and SSBSC, single sideband suppressed carrier. For these three analog modulation systems, we calculated the signal to noise ratio and the figure of merit. Figure of merit. And for the analog modulation, angle modulation is classified into two types: frequency modulation and phase modulation. For these two modulations, we can calculate the signal to noise ratio. Signal to noise ratio. So that is all about noise. So how can we define the system performance? By calculating the signal to noise ratio and the figure of merit. We can say we can estimate the efficiency or the performance of the system. Performance of the system. That is all about noise. And modulation. Generally, the modulation is classified into different types. What are those? Continuous wave modulation and pulse modulation. This continuous wave modulation again classified into angle modulation and amplitude modulation. And this pulse modulation is classified into pulse analog and pulse digital. So that is also called pulse code modulation. And the pulse analog modulation again classified into pulse amplitude, pulse width, and pulse position modulation. Pulse position modulation. Okay, and these topics we discussed about in last classes. Okay, and in this session, we discussed about the multiplexing. Multiplexing is nothing but sharing the common channel. So number of signals combined and transmitted over the shared medium. That is nothing but the multiplexing. So in multiplexing, what is the concept behind the multiplexing? We need a multiplexer and demultiplexer. Multiplexer used for the combining the information signals that will be generated from the different information sources, and these combined signals shared the common channel, shared medium, transmitted over the shared medium. And we have a demultiplexer we also called data distributor. So this demultiplexer separates these information signals and distributed to the different receivers. So for this multiplexing, we need a multiplexer and demultiplexer. And we have different types of multiplexing, that is frequency division, wavelength division, and time division. Whatever the available channel we have, in this channel, the signals will be separated. The signals will be used this channel by using frequency basis or on time basis. Okay, so if it is a frequency based, that available spectrum will be divided into smaller slots. For each sender, separate slot will be allocated. For in time division multiplexing, it will be used for the digital data transmission. Here, the available channel will be divided into the different time slots. For each user, we have allocated the particular time slot. In that particular time slot, the sender will be able to send the information. The information will be transmitted in the form of frames. So at the beginning of the frame and at the end of the frame, we have to use a markers for the synchronization. Okay, so this is all about multiplexing.